Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Frances and I am thrilled to have you. If you're new here, I hope you'll like and subscribe, and if you're a regular, welcome back. I love seeing comments down below. So let's get right into this video. I was watching Carmen Centric a couple of weeks ago, and she did a video, question and answer video. It's basically about fragrances and, getting to know her a little bit better. And it was kind of nice to hear her answers. And a few other people as well have done this, which I'm going to link down below. I'm going to tag them all and go and watch theirs as well. So I'm going to get started and get right into it. And the first question is, and this is kind of off the cuff, haven't really thought too much about it. I've got them all here. The first question is, how did you get into perfume YouTube? By accident, I kind of think it was because I've been on YouTube now for about 7 years. Originally, I got into YouTube because I was watching handbags, and I had retired. So I kind of thought I'd like to do something. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I wanted to challenge myself. So I got into YouTube and showing handbags, and because I love handbags. So that's how I got into YouTube. How I got into fragrances was by accident, because some of the people that do handbags also show perfumes. And I think it might have been Kathy from Kathy Beauty Care Chats. She kind of went down the rabbit hole of fragrances. And then I started buying fragrances through the handbags and makeup and stuff like that. So that's question one. Number two is, who was the first person you started watching on YouTube? Jeremy Fragrances. And yeah, I actually don't watch him anymore, and I don't even think I follow him, because I went down that rabbit hole. I was watching every single video he was putting out there, and I was hanging on to every word that he said, like it was, like it was, the God's honest truth. I ordered a few of the fragrances and I didn't get it. So anyway, I moved on from him to other people, and the rest is history. I've gone down that rabbit hole so far. I started off with, I think, 6 or 7 fragrances. So question number 3 is, who influences you the most? I'm influenced by all of you, to be quite honest. When the pandemic hit, I would say the one who most influences me would be Abby from Abby with Love, simply because she likes a lot of the same fragrances I do. And which leads me to the next question, which is, who has the most similar taste to you? Lots of you girls have similar taste to me. I have bought fragrances because of Veronica Says. She Loves Still by JLo, and that's one of my favorite fragrances, and it's very affordable. It's like, 15, 20 bucks. And it's one of my favorites, and I will always have that. But I would say the one, again, is Abby, because we have such passion for certain fragrances, like Banana, for instance, and she and I have exchanged fragrances over the years. We're lovers of Penhaligons. She got me into niche fragrances. Thank you, Abby. She was the one that told me that I would love Elizabethan Rose, so she sent me a sample. You don't buy Penhaligons fragrances unless you sample them, because they are niche, they are different. And it was a few years before I got into niche fragrances. I started off in my fragrance career with a designer and celebrity. And then gradually, after a couple of years, I started then testing out fragrances like Penhaligons. Okay. And next question is number 5. And it's, when did you start wearing perfume? Well, I started wearing perfume when I was just a little girl. My mom got into Avon, like every mom's mom, everybody's mom sold Avon in my day. They sold Avon, they sold other things, you know, like we had these catalogs back in the day when I lived in Ireland, and it was a clothing catalog and home goods and stuff like that. And my mom was into that, and she made a little bit of money. You know, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she made a little bit of money out of that. So she got lots and lots of samples of fragrances, and I remember the little tiny lipsticks, a little sample of lipsticks, and she would give them to me. I would have been probably around 5 or 6. My sister had really nice fragrances. She was into like Lancome, um, Tresor, those ones. So I really enjoyed those. But basically, I was about 5, and it was mostly, she wouldn't let me use her fragrances unless I went in and stole them. But my mom would give me these little tiny bottles of, I can't remember the name of them in Avon, but there was little ones and they were in little animal shapes. There was like a little Bambi one. There was a giraffe. If I find a picture, I'll put the picture up here. And it was like a giraffe. It had the little bottle and then a giraffe head on it. I don't remember what they were called or anything, like Serenity or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, I wasn't particular. I just used whatever she gave me, and I loved it. So that's when I first started wearing them. What scent did you wear growing up? By the time I became a teenager, I was buying my own fragrances at the local drugstores. And I remember buying, if you're my age, if you're younger than me, you won't remember. I remember buying Pagan, and it was in the drugstore. So I just I remember that was one of my very first ones. Then I got into, when I got my own job, I got into Poison. I loved the Tender Poison, the green bottle. I wish they would bring that back, um, just so I could smell it for nostalgia. It was a very green, kind of earthy smell, if I remember correctly, but I can kind of still smell it. Then number 7 is, do you wear perfume to bed, and what kinds? Yes, I do wear perfume to bed. I usually wear something vanilla. I don't wear freshies to bed. My favorite one to wear to bed would be um, 402 by Bon Perfumer. I like that one. I wear that one. And I also like Want by D Squared. I would wear that to bed as well. And also lately I've been wearing Floral Marshmallow to bed. It's really nice. So number 8 is, if you could only keep 3 without thinking too much. Okay, right off the top of my head, it would be Gris Dior, Christian Dior, Banana Banana by L'Artisan. I can never say that word right. Anyway, Banana Banana is number 2. Number 3 would be Haute Couture by Givenchy, right? Yeah. So that's like the 3 I would just off the top of my head. That was stressful. Worst perfume you've smelled or purchased? Oud. Oud. Okay. I think anything with oud in it, I can't stand it. I just can't. So yeah, I think it's called Oud Bouquet. I don't know. And then there was a Middle Eastern one that I don't like by, I can't remember. If I remember the name, I'll write it up there. But yeah, there was a Middle Eastern one that I tried. It was a sample and I didn't like that. So number 9. Number 10, do you like blind buying? Why or why not? I did like blind buying, and I did a lot of it, and I did a lot of hits, and I did quite a lot of misses. I think I've gotten rid of more than I kept, so I don't recommend it. It's not a good idea, so I try not to do it anymore. Number 11 is top 5 favorite notes. Top 5 favorite notes would be vanilla, raspberry, cherry, caramel, and what else? Oak moss. Least liked notes, that would be Nude. You know, patchouli is also another one that I don't like. But then again, I have fallen in love with fragrances that have patchouli in it. If it's at the top, if there's oud at the top and there's patchouli up there, or it's in the middle, then I'm not going to like it. But I have since fallen in love with Gris Dior, and it is full of patchouli and oak moss. And I absolutely adore it, and I would keep it in my collection forever. So it just goes to show you, you know, what you end up not liking, you end up liking. That makes sense. So number 13 is if you could bring one discontinued perfume back, no doubt about it would be Want by D Squared. Then number 14, do you have a signature scent? Not anymore, but my signature scent when I was in my 30s was Eternity by Calvin Klein. Then from my 30s into my 40s, I went into my signature fragrance was, I had a couple. It was Chanel number 5, which I wore for years, and the other one was Dolce & Gabbana The One, which is a very peach dominated fragrance, and I love that. Very peachy, very powdery. I still own it. I went through about 5 bottles of it. I went through Chanel number 5. I went through 2 or 3 bottles of that, and I had everything in it. I had the powder, the body cream, the soap, and everything. So Chanel number 5 for years was my fragrance. And last but not least, best perfume on the opposite sex. Okay, this would be a throwback of nostalgia. My favorite is Obsession by Calvin Klein for a man. And my husband still has it. He still wears it. And it's absolutely divine. Also, I love on him right now the Dossier. And I think it's called, what's it called? It's the dupe for Creed Aventus. I think it's called Musky Oak Moss, I think it's called. And that's one of my favorites on him at the moment. So that would be, yeah, Creed Aventus. And that's it. Yeah. So that was kind of off the cuff. I just brought up the questions and just kind of went with it. So I hope you learned something that you didn't know before. And I hope you enjoyed this little fun video. I'm not going to tag anybody because, you know, if you want to do it, you can do it and let me know. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you again for watching. And as I always say, don't let anyone ever dull your sparkle.